Another Advance Wars by Web veteran dips their toes in Tiny Wars once again. How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here. Welcome back to another Tiny Wars replay commentary. This one is a little bit of a special one and more of a reaction to a game because I don't know what's happening in it other than one thing. So, I received a message from someone who's been on the channel before, and they said they gotten themselves in a little Tiny Wars scrim, getting their feet wet in the game, and that is none other than Alagatua. Alagatua I have introduced to Tiny Wars in the past via units and having them trying to rate COs by their mechanics, CO zone by their powers, how strong they appear, and you know, I don't know if what influence I had on him for Tiny Wars, but apparently he just told me, hey, you know, I have a game if you want to check it out, and that is what I'm going to do. Again, this is more of a reaction than like a known commentary, so I don't know what's happening other than I just know the player and the game mode, because all Lagatua plays is Fog. Respectfully. Alright, so replay ID. He gave it to me. Alright, this looks like a whoa. he told me he told me he just picked the default CO, and that's a hell of a CO. Alright, let's get this set up. Alright, guys and gals, we are finally set up, and let's get right into the typical commentary. Gonna talk about the map, COs, maybe the players. So the name of this map is Penny's Playground, made by my friend Buster Beachside. Subscribe to him. We should do something together again. So yeah, Penny's Playground. It is 22 by 22, 3 bases. The airport's in the middle. The HQ is on the 1 base side. We have the radars that give vision out here. We have the comm towers close to each other in the center. There's a river that divides the map in half. There are some bridges that, you know, don't make that so hard. Once you get to the middle, it's going to be a little hard to try front shift because you have to go back a little bit. I forgot what these did. Empty silo, plus 20, plus 20. I forgot why these were lit up. I remember I played this a long time ago, and yeah, it's been a long time ago, so if they come up, then we'll see. But yeah, like I said, it is a 3-base map, airport in the center. Pretty simple, kind of open with all the properties off to the side. Yeah, it's a very, very open map. Player 2 here, they have a bike. I think that's because both of these players have already like pre-captured cities, 2 on each side. Then it is feasible for player 1 to buy themselves a bike. They are going to start with 5k income, so they can build 2 bikes. And they can immediately start capturing, which is the more interesting, different thing when playing about Tiny Wars compared to Advance Wars by Web. The capture phase is just so different when you have a bike that could go like 5 movement and are impeded by certain terrain. But yeah, I don't have too much else to say unless I figure out what's up with these silos, because I feel like they did something I forgot. So real quickly, let's just look at the players. Oh, Chip Cheeps. Alright, looks like this is just a like little fun scrim that Alagatua has told me. Alright, yeah, it looks like Alagatua was just playing with their friends. Alright, so let's talk about the COs here. So Chip is playing Lin. Lin, I personally would say, is like a good tier 2 CO. They have a boarding cost of 1, which makes it a little difficult to try attack with multiple units, but their ground troops are hitting for 30 firepower, and Lin herself is actually attacking with 50 power because, reminder, if you're a CO unit in Tiny Wars, you get an automatic veteran bonus, meaning that you get a 20% bonus for offense and defense. So Lin herself in a tank would be 50 offense, 50 defense. Really strong. I'm pretty sure it can one-shot infantry off cities. And the SCOP is +2 vision on all hiding places, and same for all COs. They expand their global they expand their CO zone technically to the entire map. So every ground unit gets 30 offense and 30 defense. Anything non-ground unit gets just +10. And yeah, it just kind of works how the power charges. If you don't know, like, I'm pretty sure some Advanced Wars by Web players might look at this, could be wrong, but if you don't know, you gain power by attacking inside your zone. So with a zone of 1, it's going to be really hard for Lyn to get multiple hits off, but because she has such high firepower, you're going to get your charge by getting like fewer hits, but you hit hard. But yeah, like I said, Lyn, very solid tier 2 CO in my opinion. Her only drawback is just her 1 zone, I would say, but you could have tank and artillery behind it and it can cover attacking at 30. So up next we have Will. I personally consider Will like a tier 1 CO. He has a zone radius of 2, which makes it really easy for him to get more charge, allowing him more attacks. Even if his CO unit goes in by himself, the other unit can come in, still attack from the zone and get additional charge. And it shouldn't be hard for him too, because it's just his offense that gets the +30, while Lyn has +20 additional defense. Will does not, but he makes up for it by having such a large zone. So, and it's just ground direct units, so his artillery, his rockets, his anti-tanks, if we see any, are not going to be getting that bonus. Only Lyn will. His power does make up for it. It's basically kind of like Max or Adder, just getting like a firepower boost, or maybe even Jess. Ground direct units get 20% offense and +2 movement. I guess a little bit of Sammy too, because his mechs can actually get the +2 movement, so that's really nice. And the vanilla 10% offense and defense globally. So yeah, I'd say in matchup wise, Lagatua has the slight advantage. But these are two guys just trying to have fun, checking out the game. I have been told that there were some things they didn't know about the UI. So like, I don't think they did any simulations, which is the equivalent of our move planner. But yeah, other than that, there's not much else to say. I don't know how this game will turn out, so let's just go ahead and start the replay. Okay, the highlighted silo will heal and resupply any unit 2 HP a day. Oh, okay, so now I see. These are basically like cities. They're free cities that no one can capture. So yeah, Tiny Wars has this unique customization. I know Advanced Wars by Web does some with like teleportation tiles, some transport boosts, which are really fun. There's no transport boosting in Tiny Wars, unfortunately. But yeah, they basically, it's just basically just free cities, I cannot recall. And Lyn's music is playing. Lyn's up top. Then they start with infantry. Pretty interesting. Going infantry, there is a lot of chains that they could go for. They could go for this chain, obviously, and then there's a 3 chain up here, or they could go 1 down. This infantry as well has 2, and then it's just going to probably go over here and have the decision to capture either of these 2. Building a bike here, well, it just depends, because like, you can have infantry just worry about this, and then you can have a bike go ahead, move forward like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could capture this city, start capturing in 2 turns. They could reach the comm tower in 1 turn. So I could maybe see if they want infantry first, just worry about the first 2 to 3 chains, and then have their bikes worry about the other properties. But yeah, let's see here. Looks like Lagatua also decided to build infantry. Interesting. So they both start off with infantry, a little conservative. Okay, now we have the bike. The bike makes sense here. The bike makes sense because it can immediately capture this, followed by this, and then one of these 2 properties. It'd be a little bit of a waste to try to put an infantry, to try and move it back here. An infantry would do better. For anyone who doesn't know, infantry are 1500, mechs are 2500, bikes are also 2500. They have really bad, well, they can move 5, tire B, which means they could go on plains and roads easily. But then when it comes to something like, say, this wasteland here, bikes are going to move 3. The ruins, I think, nope, ruins don't matter. The forests are going to move 3, and I believe shoals move 3 as well. Nope, just 2. So yeah, there's definitely some heavy terrain that can impede them. But like I said, the bike makes sense if it decides to go for that forward city. And looks like Lag2 has built 2 bikes, and so the chain begins, and they have that infantry capturing the back instead, and a recon. The recon up here makes sense. It's going to be impeded just a little bit. It could probably go back here and then like start going through these ruins. These ruins, oh, the ruins are 2. Okay, well, also, the plains are also 2. So yeah, they're not going to be able to take advantage of the city just for that 1 extra movement there. And they're just moving forward. Lag2 doesn't want to bother capturing this one. Wants to reserve that for the infantry there. Gets that 2 chain, and Lag2 probably gonna go for this city because this one can go for this back one over here. So they were a little conservative at the beginning with their infantry that could capture the possible chains, which again does make sense. And we have the vehicles moving. So far, no recon. No recon CO. Lin just wants to keep it simple. Which does check out. Most commonly built CO unit I usually see is a tank. And double recon from a Lag2. So trying to go aggressive as well checks out, because Will does have the firepower and the zone to be aggressive. And looks like we have both of the players capturing the furthest properties they can and trying to get the comm towers in the middle. If anyone who doesn't know, comm towers, they do give you income. I think I almost forget. Yeah, they do give you income. They have 30 defense instead of 20 defense, which is the default for cities. Forests give you 30 defense. But yeah, they're not as defensible in Advanced Wars by Web, because as you saw, the way that this recon moved, wherever it travels, the vision stays. So yeah, it's like imagine every single tile they've been on, they keep their 5 vision. But of course, there's certain tiles, such as the ruins here, that they cannot see through. So you might see some U-turns if there's any big brain stuff. And artillery as well. That is interesting. Recon artillery. I know there's like many different openings. I know I'm not the best player in Advanced Wars. I just like covering games, but just like, I guess my, intermediate level brain, in artillery into Will is kind of interesting, especially on a very open map such as Penny's Playground. One thing I could maybe say, this artillery can sit on this city. It's going to get 2 defense. It's going to be hidden, and it's behind a wasteland and a river. Again, the wastelands are going to impede some movement for some of the vehicles, like especially this tank. And you put a unit on that wasteland, it's essentially sitting on a city or a forest. Advanced Wars by Web Forest, which is going to get 20 defense. I could see this comm tower being captured and then pull back a little bit, and then this artillery, it goes here 1 2 3 4 5 in 2 turns. It can be on the city, and you could maybe have a unit in front. And if there's like any tanks that try to come in, it's going to be a little difficult to try to reach that artillery through wasteland. So I can maybe see that, but again, their CO is Will. It only focuses on direct units, not ground units in general. That's more of a Lin thing. But yeah, let's see how this goes. So we have the troops moving forward, and here we see they at least understand the CO mechanic. Thankfully, the tank was built the previous turn. Next turn, it could be loaded. The tank is built for 7,000, making a CO unit cost half of it, so 3,500. So they at least get that, which is really nice. I was a little worried about what could have happened, and yeah, cities are also hidden, so this recon still has no intel. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, I should have noticed. This recon cannot see that recon. It's just sitting there. It's gonna get free refuels with a very, custom tile, with a customized tile. All right, so now Alagatua has information, and I'm pretty sure Chip here saw it as well. Ooh, and we have the first interrupt. Well, not interrupts, but I guess blocked trapped. Yeah, it got trapped. So looks like Chip is going to get the first comm tower, and they're going to get a 5% offense and defense. So getting your own comm tower like almost cancels it out, but it's just as painful as Advance Wars by Web if you are behind on comm towers. So, that's interesting. Looks like this bike. So the recon saw the bike beginning to capture. So I can imagine Chip is going to interrupt that. And we saw Chip ignoring the city, giving it to the infantry that's back here. Lagatua on turn 7. So they're going to get that hit, and they're going to get that capture. Now, Chip here can interrupt because it is his comm tower. Also, the comm tower has 2 vision. Yes, our properties have vision, if you're an Advanced Wars by Web viewer. Yeah, our properties have vision, so they can see everything. But there is no tank yet, no artillery in sight. This artillery isn't even in range to properly cover in any of these tiles. This one it could cover, so would they want to risk that though? So Lagatua makes the retreat. They have been denied their comm tower for now, and I think Lagatua is gonna do a little bit of a more advanced move. In Tiny Wars, you can load your CO unit into the HQ. The reason you would want to do that is because you would want to save your money while it's smaller, while you have less of it. You can use that 3,500 for another unit, like maybe a bike that could be useful at that time rather than later. So Lagatua putting this tank on an HQ, which is, I believe, the perfect movement too. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's the perfect movement from that base. It is the one base side, but he now has a little bit more money than he would have had the previous turn, and he could now splurge some of that into the CO unit. This is why I love Tiny Wars. The CO mechanic I personally like. Everyone has their own takes, but you know, I still love both games. And I hope Chip and Lagatua do as well. So will we see Chip go for the interrupt? Ooh, we have the first strike, and this is the slight unfortunate part. Although yes, this has plus 55. Why does it say 55? Oh yeah, because that's the comm tower. So yeah, ignore the defense for now. So yeah, it's attacked with 55 firepower, and it's going to get that one shot. So this is exactly what I was talking about as a weakness for Lin. Let's say this recon is still alive. Another unit could come in and still hit it, but it's not going to get any bonuses. Even if it doesn't, it's still not in the zone to give that additional charge. Here up top, they were already just going to get 9 charge anyways, but had this been alive and healthy, Chip would have not gotten the full 10 charge, which may or may not hurt because you just need 30 to expand the zone once. And looks like Chip is going to secure this comm tower. Now, are they going to let go of it? Let go of this one down here. They are building. They got the anti-tank already. Wow. So the anti-tank, they're kind of slow with tire B, but they have 1 to 3 range, but they only can attack when they haven't moved, so just like an artillery, but they can counterattack at 1 range, which is really, really nice. They do pretty well against other vehicles. They do slightly suffer from infantry, just like slightly, so like bikes, mechs obviously, and infantry are kind of the counter to it. Like, what does this say an infantry does to an anti-tank? 75. Oh wow. So yeah, they are slow. 11,000. Yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, Lagatua cannot interrupt that comm tower there. They cannot get the vision, and wow, the artillery actually gets a hit. So wow, so not only did it protect this bike from the front, but it also hit the empty silo. That is, wow. I did not see that actually. So props to Lagatua for that setup. Oh wow, look at this. They also kind of like make it awkward for the tank. Almost trapped it, could have trapped it, but the hidden terrain of properties keeps this tank from being trapped. And that also means that Chip is also gonna get away with capturing this comm tower, so now they will be like almost canceled out. We did see the anti-airs way before the copters, and now we see a Lagatua building the copter on turn 8. So, and we have double recon down there. A little awkward, but that the CO unit is on the 1 base side, but the bridge is right there. They can make that swap easily. So they built the flare. Flares I do like. They're more like an offensive vision unit. I'm not too sure if it synergizes with Lin's ability. I don't think so. Because like properties have vision. Plus 2 vision, you can ground units. Okay, yeah. So it might not. I haven't played in a while. I am so sorry. It's like some of these things I have to test out like myself and like remember certain things. So we have Lagatua capturing this property, and as I expected, the tank is moving back. They're still pretty close, pretty even on charge. Looks like Chip did not want anything to do with this Will tank. There were no reinforcements, so they could have gotten away with it. This is near perfect artillery usage from Lagatua. I love it. I was a little unsure at first, but Lagatua is a great fog player, and they know how to use artillery in open maps, which are a little tricky to use. And artillery are tricky to use in fog in general, but with quote-unquote baby fog, Humida, where the vision sticks, it could be possible to better position this artillery. And again, it's just a little unfortunate. Lagatua is not getting any charge off of these attacks. But the tank is slowly making their way to the 2 base side, where Lagatua would probably prefer to be. But Chip can actually see this artillery, so they're not going to make that attack. In Advanced Wars by Web settings, that artillery would be hidden. And yeah, Lagatua has not captured the radar on the northeast side just yet. Although it looks like they might get the bottom one. Something I'm noticing, Chip was able to get this comm tower very early and this radar very early, but they're about to lose it because we have this bike right here that can reach. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting when you look at this map, and just like the basic 2 base side strong, 1 base side weak, this is actually happening right now, where the radar is where the comm tower was captured and now it's lost, and this radar is now also a lost cause. There might have been some attempt to capture these cities, but Lagatua already has like a bigger force, and they're moving up. They are able to capture these properties. Lagatua did tell me that they did have some trouble trying to like keep track of units lost. Advanced Wars by Web does a better job, in my opinion, for that. Okay, so now we're seeing the front shift with the CO unit here. This anti-tank is still moving forward, but I think it just wants to hold the comm towers here. So yeah, we see the radar being captured, and Lagatua taking advantage of that tile to be healed for free. And wow, look at this, just beautiful artillery positioning here. This is an art form. All right, but here we see Chip is wanting to make a response. They have 2 tanks down there, the anti-air for the copter. So, oh, we see the flare reveals a lot. 2 recons, the CO unit and the bike. And they are going to position themselves, and the mountains in the middle, I did not think about it. The mountains are going to give Chip a huge, a lot of information, and they do sacrifice the infantry for the radar interrupt. So Chip here is actually going to keep their vision. So way to go, Chip. You're going to lose the infantry sacrifice the infantry for the vision. But here we see Lagatua is able to maintain that city. They're going to maintain this one. Artillery is not going to cover the west side, but it is covering a lot of the north side of this this little death ball here. And just real quickly, that radar has 5 vision. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up to here, and here is everything that Chip can see. And in fact, I am going way too fast in this replay because now we have the medium tank. It's only 12. It's 12,000. Yeah, 12,000. Not as strong. It can still hurt tanks, but about 3 tanks can do a good job against a medium tank here. I've done it myself. So I would say about 2 tanks. A medium tank is good in my personal opinion. And we know there are 2 tanks right there, the copter, but the copter will be scared of the anti-air. So this infantry gets this vision, just helps them see the bike there. So yeah, they can see everything here except for the anti-air there. But I think earlier it's already been spotted. So we have tanks, a tank up top, and Lagatua has no response to that tank. Those infantry up top are probably as good as dead. And we have an engagement up here. Oh, does it to save the radar. And he does, because that's only going to be at 1 turn. And look at that. The anti-tank was able to crawl its way down to the bottom side. And that has 30 offense and defense. Alright, going for the capture. And here you can see Will's radar is growing. Now, is there? Yes, there's an infantry there to close off the tank to protect it. Now we have a little bit of a funny situation. We have Chip here. He's down and then he's moved right. And then we have Lagatua who's moved up and then they moved left. So the map is the fronts are kind of split like this, which I find a little amusing. Artillery is a little exposed, but it is protected by the medium tank down here, which is in range of the Will CO zone here. And here we see the infantry just trying to scramble, just doing what I call scorched earth, which is basically losing your lives, but they are used to slow down the capture of any opposing infantry here. So I guess they were able to catch one and take them out. So let's see how Chip responds to this front. Alright, the flare moved like more forward, like southeast of the front here. And they're just being picked off up front. That tank is doing too much, and that recon is closing in. But here we see like the artillery, the bikes moving forward up top, trying to reinforce. And now we have an attack around the comm tower. Yeah, that anti-tank is going to be hard to hit. This... Oh, it's out of range. Oh, wow. Honestly, I would say this is like really good awareness from Chip here. I don't know if they intentionally planned this, but being here... 2 things. 1, you can only be attacked from 1 angle. Unless they somehow break through this, then you could be attacked by 2. But this is also just 1 tile away from airport range. The airport will have to take... Air units would need to take 3 turns, the battlecopter specifically, to even hit that tank. But, like, even Lagatua's battlecopter up here is out of range. And we have the first power from a Lagatua as Will. +1 movement. Wow. 4 damage. And the medium tank hit. Now this tank is actually trapped. Unless they can somehow get rid of this. Did I say medium tank? The CO tank. Now the CO tank is actually trapped. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say like the CO zone. Oh wow, nice. Good hit on the artillery. This is what I was talking about when I was saying like CO zones are they definitely play a factor. Will just already having like the same damage as Lin, but having a larger zone just enables more attacks, more charge, and when you get to 30, that goes up to 3. You're probably going to get even more charge from that, and it finally pays off. Turn 13, Lagatua gets the first power, and like here, you can see these infantry and these bikes, they have all this movement here. Wonder if Lagatua is going to do like a little U-turn to try and get vision. And Chip's got to be careful because this infantry is one turn away from beginning their capture. Okay, bike moves back. Again, scorched earth for these guys. Skeleton crew just hold the properties. And right now the infantry is ignored. Maybe there are reinforcements there and the tank is on the HQ to try to hold it. Yeah, that tank is a lost cause, and Chip here is just trying to deal damage to anything they can. Medium tank is in at 8 HP. The CO tank is right there though, and it is covered on 2 sides. Like I said, about 3 tanks I would say can take out medium tank, and Lagatua's own medium tank is at 3 HP. So right now it can't do anything. Here we see a little bit of spreading out the damage from Lagatua up there. Artillery is protecting the radar and the tank from possibly anything. So yeah, Lagatua just keeping the skeleton crew there. Finally has the radar on their side. Repairing the medium tank. The flare is going to get some action. And yeah, this is just Will doing Will things. Just moving in with these high damage ground units. And here you can see the bikes. They can take care of the anti-tank. They're not yet able to trap the medium tank, but I don't think they need to. There's just so much infantry on that side right now. Chip can actually load a CO unit there, but then what happens afterwards? And now we got a Duster. I like the Duster. Duster. That's how D just says it is great too. Duster. Let's get a good review of Duster. 8 movement, -5 fuel. It's normal. They're kind of like flying anti-air. That's the best way I could describe it. They do a lot to infantry, not a lot to vehicles. A pretty good amount to the other air units. They don't one-shot them like fighters, but they're honestly better than fighters in my opinion. Like I said, it's like a flying anti-air. Lagatua sees 2 copters right there. Well, saw 2 copters. One of them's at 1 HP. But the Duster, I like. It's like I said, like a flying anti-air. That's why I like him. All right, so this is nice. We got the Lin defense actually applying to this medium tank here. You can see on the bottom left. And got flare, copter, and a base skip. I used to have that problem when I was new to when I was new to Tiny Wars. I forgot infantry 1500. All right, so just missing out on just a little bit of charge. I can see where that artillery. Oh, thought that artillery would be a tile up, just a tad bit more. Nope. They just want to protect their tanks. The infantry protect the tanks. And the artillery protects the tanks if the infantry fail to protect it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Lagatua could move up slightly to get better positioning, but repairing that medium tank is going to cost funds if it gets off of where it currently is. It's a cute little tile. This is why I like it. So Lagatua, looks like we're seeing some forces being moved up to the other front. Because I'm sure they feel like they've mostly got what they want. If they're not going to get the HQ, they're going to get the properties. Like they got this property, and they're about to get this property. So, you don't want to overextend. That's I don't know what to call it, like a pitfall maybe for Fire Emblem fans to overextend. It's a beginner's mistake. Oh, okay. So the flare, that's a funny looking flare. It almost looks funny, but it is actually revealing what it needs to reveal. Got rid of the infantry. It would have revealed the Duster anyways if the Duster went straight, because it was about to go into vision range. But, oh wow, we see Lagtua at 30, 46. Wow, they're so close. Their tank took some damage. And that recon with the CO unit assist. CO unit assist for that recon hitting that copter. Oh man, it's a little not hysterical, I want to say, but it's amusing to see. Lagtua is gonna lose that city up top though, but I also like the positioning of these three units here, because any backup, any reinforcements that come to avenge these units, they're all gonna give Lagtua more charge, because they're at the edge of the CO zone. But yeah, here we see Lagtua has all these cities. Lagtua is likely going to capture both Comm Tower and City. Chip does have a chance to respond, I believe, by the looks of it. And that tank is not as good as dead, but it's going to be hard to save that tank. Anti-air gets the hit. Chip is at 60 now, but they can't get the charge. And they resign. Well played by both of these guys, honestly. I think Chip played well, but it's just the tier disadvantage, I would say. Again, Lin, very strong zone when compared to Will, but with just the same amount of damage, without counting the defense from Lin, one zone can actually make a difference here. And again, Will was able to, I believe it was turn 13. I want to say turn 13 player 2. Yeah, he's at 51 charge, and look at this. He's at 3 zone. This tank could probably sit over here and probably have all the zone for this attack to hit. But, you know, it's just accumulating the damage over time. You know, got that 9 damage, able to use that charge. I don't know if Lagtua knew they could have moved the tank and then made the attack. But yeah, it's just a slaughter for Will. And again, I said that in open maps it's usually harder to use indirects, but Will already doesn't need to worry about indirects, so he'd be more comfortable attacking without any artillery on such a open map. Lagtua made this artillery work. Again, I call it an art form. But yeah, you know, I kind of like what Chip was trying very early in the game. I like what Chip was trying early in the game. They were able to get some of these properties. Yeah, they were able to get this. They were able to get this. But yeah, again, just over time, 2 base, 1 base. Like they had these 2 properties, and eventually they lost them. They also ended up getting this one, which I think is what they should have gotten. And they did get this radar. Chip also did get this radar, so honestly, props to Chip for, you know, getting that early income advantage. But just, you know, I'd say over time, some things are going to take into effect. And here we see like Lagtua was able to get a little more proactive with their CO zone. And look at this. Hold on, look at this turn. 15 energy currently. They do 15 more damage. It's going to go up to 30. 25. Just 5 more damage is needed. 33. Now the zone has expanded. And it was able to like get that copter. Yeah, the zone, if the zone didn't expand, that copter wasn't going to get that 7 charge. And it can be any units getting the charge. It doesn't have to be ground direct units, like Will says. There's nothing that says only ground direct units can get you charge. You know, there's no restriction from that. Again, I just say it's like, I want to say it's like tier advantage, and, you know, Lagatua's positioning with the artillery. And I think he was actually able to get a hit off that artillery from surprise when that early recon was on that empty silo there. It was a little awkward for Lagatua to try to get the tank on the one base to try and defend a little bit, but the bridge here was allowing them to make easily front shift to the other side and just take advantage of the CO unit. Chip is still at 9, which again is just a little harder. Maybe you want to be a little more defensive as Lin with a smaller CO zone, but again, it's been a little while for me. Anyone who is watching, feel free to put in the comments what I could have said wrong, anything I may have missed, anything you'd like to say about these two players, because I'm not trying to have bias for one of these players. But yeah, honestly, you know, pretty fun scrim to watch. Shows the power of Will against Lin, and why I consider him a very strong CO. Again, 2 range and 30 offense for tanks and infantry, recons. He's just gonna get the charge a lot easily, and that is why I consider him tier 1 over Lin. Then again, you know, there could be some things I have missed, and I'm not perfect. So if there is anything I may have missed and you'd like to kindly share in the comments, feel free. I'm sure these two players would love to read what you guys have to say, and I also would love to read what you guys have to say for anything I've missed as well. But that is going to do it for this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had some fun watching this. Again, this was very last minute. Like I was literally just told hours ago that this game happened, and you're probably going to see this the next day. I am Advanced Warrior. You all have my warmest regards. Please take care.